This is TechCrunch. On Thursday, UK police said that the jailing of two teenage hackers has severely hampered the activities of the infamous cybercrime group known as Scattered Spider. 18-year-old Owen and 20-year-old Thalha Jubair pleaded guilty earlier this year to hacking Transport of London, the government body overseeing the UK capital's public transit system in 2024. The two were sentenced to 5 years and 6 months in prison on Thursday. The jailing of Flowers and Jubair is a reminder that, sometimes the most dangerous and effective hackers don't work for sophisticated government agencies with millions of dollars of budget. More often, they are rather very young and smart hackers motivated by money and infamy among their peers. Groups such as Scattered Spider, as well as Shiny Hunters, another cyber criminal collective, often target and exploit employees and individuals rather than computer systems, a strategy that's both effective and hard to counter. While hacking groups' members tend to come and go, the groups themselves can rebrand, but British authorities are convinced the jailing of Flowers and Jubair represents a significant blow to Scattered Spider, an amorphous group that's been linked to dozens of high-profile attacks, such as those against casino giant MGM, airline WestJet, and cybersecurity firm Okta. These attacks in turn gave the hackers access to several of these companies' customers. Paul Foster, the head of the UK National Crime Agency's National Cybercrime Unit, said Scattered Spider has been the most significant cybercrime threat to the UK in recent years. Through this investigation, we have severely disrupted that threat and brought key offenders to justice. The two hackers were behind the cyber attack of the Transport of London in the summer of 2024, which took the system's infrastructure offline, including the ticketing system and the online real-time train arrival information system. The disruptions lasted for weeks. Flowers and Jubair were arrested a year later. At the time, the FBI accused Jubair of being involved in attacks on more than 120 companies using social engineering tactics. Authorities said the attack against Transport of London resulted in losses of around £29 million, which is the equivalent of about $47 million. Now, according to The Guardian, the two hackers had such deep access to the Transport of London systems that they could have shut out and shut down Transport of London completely and held the keys to the kingdom to the company's systems. Well, you may have heard that OpenAI released its first piece of hardware this week, a $230 mini keyboard. You may not have heard that alongside this command center for agentic work, OpenAI also released a ChatGPT basketball. The product listing says this basketball comes from the Pause Play Prompt campaign, a physical reminder that creativity doesn't just live on our screens. Now, as much as TechCrunch's Amanda Seiberling looked, she could not find any other mention of the Pause Play Prompt campaign on OpenAI's website. But Amanda gathered that, that's a way of OpenAI telling people not to spend all day on codecs. Who says tech companies aren't thinking about our mental health? The basketball costs $70, or about 56 million input tokens for GPT-5. It's a 100% rubber ball, which is a better fit for outdoor play due to its weather resistance than the more expensive leather balls that you'll find on professional basketball courts. It's kind of interesting that OpenAI is envisioning a world where playing sports outside is possible, even as the generative AI boom accelerates tech companies' carbon emissions. It's difficult to imagine the target customer for the ChatGPT basketball. Who is this for? Wander outside the safety of an AI-pilled token-maxing Silicon Valley, and one might worry about getting bullied for bringing a ChatGPT basketball to the court. Now, in defense of the ChatGPT basketball, the AI industry is not exactly known for its product-market fit instincts. Alongside that $70 artifact, OpenAI is also selling a line of merch with inspirational reminders like, "Good research takes time," which some might argue is the perfect attire for a startup founder meeting with investors who are demanding faster growth. There's also a certain je ne sais quoi to the $175 quarter zip that says research in cursive. The product description says that it features a crisp collar that reminisces on our days in academia, which could alienate the I never went to college because I'm a coding savant crowd. Also, can an object reminisce on your days in academia? Yeah, I guess we shouldn't expect grammatically sound sentences from people who write their emails with ChatGPT. That's all for now. For the latest tech news and more snappy writing from TechCrunch's Amanda Seiberling, go to TechCrunch.com.